Let's jump right into one of the biggest concurrency traps in C++ history. Lazy initialization for a singleton.
Ah, yes, the classic. You have an expensive object, you don't want to create it until you absolutely have to.
But doing that across multiple threads is where it all falls apart. Which brings us to the infamous double-checked locking pattern, or DCLP.
Right. Everyone wrote this back in the day. The thinking was, locking a mutex is slow, it's a system call. So you check the pointer first.
Only if it's null, you take the expensive lock. Then you check it again inside the lock just to be safe.
On the surface, it looks foolproof. You only pay for that lock one time. But before C++11, that pattern was fundamentally provably broken.
Let's get right to the line of code where the disaster happens. It's just pinstance, new singleton, looks like a single atomic operation.
It looks that way to us. But to the compiler and the CPU, it's really 3 distinct steps.
Okay, so step 1 is what? Just allocating the memory.
Exactly. Allocate raw memory. Step 2 is running the constructor on that memory to actually initialize the object.
And step 3 is assigning the address of that memory to the pinstance pointer.
Correct. And the whole problem is that the compiler or the CPU is free to reorder steps 2 and 3.
Why would it do that?
Performance. It's following the as-if rule. As long as the result appears the same to the current thread, it can reorder instructions however it likes to keep the pipeline full.
So it might allocate the memory, then immediately assign the pointer before the constructor runs.
That's the race condition right there.
Yeah.
So thread A allocates memory and assigns the pointer. Then it gets preempted by the OS. The constructor hasn't run yet.
And now thread B comes along. It does the first check. Is pinstance null? Nope. It sees a valid memory address.
So it just skips the lock entirely and tries to use the object.
But it's not an object yet. It's just raw, uninitialized memory.
It's garbage. And now you're in an undefined behavior territory. The program might crash immediately, or worse, it might just read a 0 and continue corrupting data silently.
And this is where I always see people reach for the volatile keyword. They think that's the magic fix.
It's a huge misunderstanding. Volatile in C++ only tells the compiler one thing. Don't optimize away reads or writes to this variable.
So it prevents caching the value in a register, basically.
Exactly. It forces a load from main memory every time.
Yeah.
It's for things like memory-mapped hardware, not for thread synchronization. It does absolutely nothing to prevent instruction reordering.
So to fix this manually, the pre-C++11 way, you'd need something much heavier.
You would. You'd need actual memory fences, which is what C++11 gave us with std.atomic and acquire release semantics.
Right, so the writing thread uses memory order release when it stores the pointer.
Which acts as a barrier. It says all memory writes before this point, including the constructor finishing, must be visible to other threads before this store is.
And the reading thread uses memory order acquire.
The other side of the fence, it says, if I see the new pointer value, I am guaranteed to see all the memory writes that happened before the release. The partially built object is no longer possible.
But this is the real point, isn't it? If I see someone writing manual atomics in memory orders for a singleton today, it's an immediate red flag.
A huge one. There is simply no reason to write manual DCLP anymore. We have something so much better.
Magic statics.
Magic statics. It's even written into the C++ standard, section 6.7.4. If you declare a static variable inside a function,
the language itself guarantees it will be initialized exactly once in a thread-safe way.
You just write static my singleton instance, return instance, and you're done. The compiler does all the hard work.
And it does it efficiently, right? On Linux, it often uses a Futex.
A fast user space mutex, yeah. It tries to do a quick atomic check in user space and only makes a slow system call to the kernel if there's actual contention from multiple threads at the same time.
So you get all the performance benefits of DCLP with none of the danger.
And for cases where you can't use a function static, there's std.callants with a std.once flag.
That's the modern clean replacement. It handles the memory barriers correctly, and it's also exception safe. If your constructor throws, the next thread gets another chance.
Something that manual DCLP almost never gets right.
So the mental model here is pretty clear. When you're dealing with concurrency, your intuition about what happens when is probably wrong.
You have to trust the abstractions provided by the standard library. They are written by experts and tested rigorously.
So here's the one actionable takeaway. For singletons in C++ base, just use a function local static, let the compiler do its job.
Absolutely. The simplest code is often the safest and the fastest.
This conversation is AI generated from technical documentation and conference talks, not AI slop, but curated research synthesis.